Hello and welcome to a quick video on the newly announced, just now, literally just now, this particular minute in fact, on the official Total War channel, the new Total War Three Kingdoms DLC, the Mandate of Heaven, which I am fortunately allowed to share with you my schedule for the coming weeks on what I'll be planning on doing with this DLC. So first of all, the DLC, what exactly is it? The Mandate of Heaven. It's a pretty big DLC, quite a bit different from the 8 Princes DLC, and I think a lot of people will be a lot more satisfied with what this one entails, I suppose. So basically what the Mandate of Heaven DLC is it introduces a new starting position, or starting time, in 182 CE, which is a little bit earlier, 10 years earlier than the original start date. Now, this isn't quite the same as the 8 Princes DLC being 100 years later and essentially being completely different. This one, you can start a campaign in the 182 CE and then play through into the Three Kingdoms and well beyond that as well. So it's basically just an earlier start date with some lords or some factions like Liu Bei and Cao Cao and a couple other ones being available to play as well in the earlier starting position, and then kind of playing through to the regular starting position of the Three Kingdoms, but playing through it and basically it's a new campaign, but with a couple of the same lords and a whole bunch of new ones, of course, as well. So the new ones that are being introduced, I'm not going to go through everyone individually, but essentially is the House of Han. There's 2 of those, and some 3 new Yellow Turban factions as well. And there's a couple new ones as well. Tao Chan is the first free LC unit, so even if you don't get this DLC, you'll be able to play with Tao Chan. And there's another 1 or 2, I believe, as well. But again, I'm not going to go for each one individually. But yeah, there's a lot of new content. Also, lots of new units. But I will getting into that a little bit more in a minute when I get to my schedule. Yeah, lots of new units and new mechanics, new this, new that. It's a DLC, but it because it kind of works with Three Kingdoms' main campaign as well, or going through it essentially. It's basically like kind of more of an expansion to the Three Kingdoms' initial start date, if you will. So, I suppose actually no. One other thing I want to mention is that this is kind of, it's relevant, but it's also a bit irrelevant or not necessary for me to mention it. But I want to mention it anyway. There is new unit art, or at least basically there was 2 types of unit art. There was the kind of skeleton bare bones one, and then there was the one that I was always using. And that one, the one that I was always using, has now been updated. So there's no third option, but that one has just been basically renewed and looks even better. And I already thought they looked great, but now they look even better, and it's fantastic. So, for my schedule, because right now all you're watching is a trailer and some screenshots, etc. that I was provided with. There will be currently on the Total War channel, if I remember, I'll put a link in the description, to a Let's Play from CA themselves. But as for my schedule, so starting on the 20th of December, which is this Friday, I believe, it certainly is, I will be allowed to, I could basically, it's choices between videos or streams, but for all of these I'll be doing streams. I'm allowed to stream an hour and a half of custom battles between the Yellow Turbans and the House of Han. There's some things that we're not allowed to show yet, but overall between those factions we're allowed to show everything, units-wise, lords-wise, etc. So I'll be doing an hour and a half long stream on the 20th of December. I believe it's at 4 p.m. CET. That's my time because the embargo lifts at 3 p.m. CET. 3 p.m. BST. No, GMT, the fucking UK time. But yeah, 4 p.m. my time. I'll put it all in the description, don't worry. I'll be doing an hour and a half stream of custom battles, and basically, and then later in the evening, I'll still be doing my usual stream as well. So this is basically an addition, having an extra stream this week of custom battles. Then, probably more importantly and more interesting to all of us, Sunday the 22nd of December, from that point onwards, I am allowed to stream a total of 8 hours of either the House of Han or Yellow Turban campaign. Either of the lords or factions within those, of course. So I will be probably playing one of the House of Han factions. House of Han, not, of course, for 8 hours straight. I'll be probably dividing that into 3 or 4, probably 3 streams. And I'll be doing that on Sunday, a couple of hours then, maybe a couple hours on the 23rd, and of course Christmas is coming up. I'm not entirely sure how much I'll be playing around Christmas, but basically I'll be doing 8 hours of that until the 30th, which is when the next content embargo drops, which is basically another 8 hours of streaming with another faction. There's not a whole lot more we are allowed to show at that particular point in time. But essentially, I'll be doing 2 campaigns alongside of each other at that point, because I'm only allowed to do 8 hours of streaming on the first campaign and 8 hours of streaming on... Well, I could continue the same campaign or a new one, but I'll probably start a new one. And then on the 9th of January, the embargo is completely dropped for us. We're allowed to stream as much as we want, at which point I'll be finishing off those 2 campaigns that I would have started beforehand on the 22nd and 30th of December. I'll be finishing those off until release, and then I might do another one. I might do even more if people like me playing Free Kingdoms again, as a lot of people have been asking me for Free Kingdoms, so that's good. Yeah, I'll be doing Free Kingdoms. I'll be finishing those campaigns, and then I might also be playing as Tao Chan, as he's the new free LC Lord, but I'm not entirely sure yet. Well, at that point, we'll see what people want to see. Maybe I'll do a vote. We'll figure it out at that point. But for now, as I said, I'll put it in the description as well. 20th of December, an hour-and-a-half stream of custom battles. There's a whole load of awesome new units. I'm not entirely sure how much I'm allowed to share about that, but there's a new siege unit, which is great, really, really awesome. And there's just loads of new stuff. There's 40 new units in total, battlefield units and new unit abilities, which is also awesome. I'm, again, not allowed exactly sure how much I'm allowed to share right now. But yeah, I think they probably would have shown already. Basic units have some extra abilities to make them a little bit more interesting in battle, a little bit more competitive until later when you replace them with stronger units. And those abilities, for example, are like a smoke screen or caltrops, stuff like that. So that's awesome. Anyway, so that's about that. Lots of Free Kingdoms content to come. I've already kind of hinted at it in previous streams. But yeah, now I'm finally allowed to actually talk about it for realsies. So yeah, the custom battles, 20th of December, 22nd of December. From that point onwards until the 30th, 8 hours of streams divided between probably 3 streams. Then the 30th of December, another 8 hours of streaming on a new faction probably. And on the 9th of January, I'll be finishing those 2 campaigns off and starting new ones after that as well. So, thank you guys for watching so much. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're looking forward to the Mandate of Heaven. I certainly am. You guys know I love Free Kingdoms a lot. So yeah, I'm excited for this. And until then, have a good day and goodbye.